Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to talk Bulldog Hockey, and with us head coach Bob Daniels. And Coach, welcome back to the show, and welcome back.
Good to be here, as always, Rob.
I know the Bulldogs welcome back at home is what I was going to say, as the Bulldogs were back at home this past weekend. Final home series of the 2015 calendar year, and a good series against Bemidji State.
Boy, it was. And, you know, it's incredible each and every week. We come away from playing a team, I said, boy, that's a good hockey team. And we knew Bemidji State, even though their record was a couple games under 500. As of late, they've been winning. They had swept the weekend before. A lot of their issues previously have been goaltending. They're getting really good goaltending now. And, you know, I really thought, you know, after coming out of that weekend series now, they're pretty two even teams, and it's not surprising, but there's not much that separates our program and theirs right now.
I know a team that you've had a lot of opportunities to face here over the past couple seasons, meeting them in the playoffs each of the last 2 years.
Yeah, we have, and we've been fortunate to come out on top in both those two seasons previously. 2 years ago, we were the top seed, they were the low seed, so that would expect. Last year we had to go to their rink, and we won two, and that was kind of the highlight of our season a year ago. And we knew, you know, them coming in, while it was, a half a year since we beat them, we knew there'd be some extra motivation there for them when they came into our rink.
Yeah, they came in on Friday night, and as we go to the highlights of Friday's game, they got the early goal, and it was really a 1-0 game most of the way.
Yeah, it really was, and you know, I wouldn't say we played poorly, because I don't feel like we did. You'll see on here a few of the chances we have, but once again, I thought we were off just a little bit. First, too many penalties. We did a good job of killing them off, but still more penalties than we would like. There's their first goal. And then the other thing is, I thought overall our puck management, meaning that we made good plays with the puck, not a lot of turnovers, but both goals that do score in this game are really the result of turnovers. And it's an area, when another team like Bemidji is very good defensively, their goaltending is now squared around. When they get to that point, you can't afford to give pucks away like we did. But as I said, I did think we're making progress in that area.
Darren Smith in net on Friday night had 23 saves for you. Both teams with 25 shots in this game.
Yeah, it was pretty darn even, and as you had mentioned, it was really a 1-0 game until we get down to about 2.5 minutes to go when they get the second goal. And you can see we're getting chances. This is our fourth line, who, by the way, I thought really had a good game. You know, you look for your fourth line not to take any penalties, not to get scored on, and then gobble up some minutes. And if they happen to get one, all the better. And in this case, they really had a strong game and gave us that. And you're seeing right here a good push by us to try to get that equalizer. And we did have our chances, but then again, like I said, with 2.5 minutes to go, they get the insurance goal.
Friday night's game, a 2-0 final. As you looked ahead to Saturday night, what were some of the keys going into that second night for the Bulldogs?
Well, one was the pressure. It was a teddy bear toss night, and I thought, God, we got shut out here on Friday. If we get shut out again, how are they going to get the teddy bears on the ice? So yeah, that was just a thought in the coach's mind when you're going out there. Geez, we better get one, at least a goal tonight. But then other than that, we said, hey, look, we can't give them any easy goals because they're going to be really hard for us to come by. And sometimes you start pressing because you haven't scored, and you start gambling and taking chances, with the end result being you're handing the other team chances by making risky plays. And that's the one thing we caution against. Hey, we'll score our goals, but whatever we do, we can't give them anything easy. And we also didn't really want to fall behind.
You went with Charles Williams in net on Saturday night, and had a good performance with you with 31 saves.
He sure did, and it was good to see him get back into action. And he had a rough start to the season, and maybe to be expected after not playing a game for the last year and a half due to injury more than anything else. And the last 2 weeks, he's looked better and better in practice, and we were bound and determined to get him back in the net. And had Darren not shut out Lake Superior State last Friday night, he would have played last Saturday. You can see here in the highlights, we fell behind 1-0. That was one thing we didn't want to do, and it was really important we didn't fall behind by 2, and this is where Charles really stood tall.
You certainly generated more scoring opportunities here, 38-31 in terms of the total shots, and a big second and third period.
Yeah, we did. As this game went on, we got better and better. And during these times, you can see the 2 breakaways they had. It was really important that Charles makes those saves. Here we're on a power play. We score off a line rush, and that was huge. That was a big goal for us. We're 4.5 periods deep into the weekend before we score.
Gerald Mayhew with that goal made it 1-1 after 2 periods, and then in the third we'll see the Bulldogs get the game winner late from Corey Mackin.
Yeah, good to see Corey. You know, our two leading scorers, two of our leading scorers, I should say, and Corey Mack and Gerald Mayhew both showed up on the score sheet, and they'd been quiet for about 5 games. So, you know what, it was good to get them back. Here you're seeing Zach Tierney. He didn't play Friday, but he did play on Saturday. And really a nice play right here, you know, with the feedback to Mackin and a good finish by Mackin.
How big was this victory for you to get that split on the weekend?
Well, it's really important. You know, we're kind of a little bit, I don't know, exasperated, if you will, staying around 500. It seems like every weekend we either tie both games or we split. And, you know, our record on the road's about 500. Our record at home's around 500. You know, our record in conference is 500. Our record in non-conference is 500. And, you know, we keep talking. And you know, it's not that that's awful, but we keep talking about the fact that we've got to move beyond average and start sneaking up on great.
And certainly the WCHA kind of like that this year. Nobody's really separated from the pack, and it's been a pretty tight race so far.
It really has, and you know, you generally by this point you'll see some separation within bunches. You might see the top 3-4 teams separate from the middle, 3-4 separate from the bottom. You're not seeing that right now. It's pretty tight. So, you know, we'll take all the points we can get. Our first goal is to make the playoffs. Our second goal is to get home ice in the first round. And so, you know, we still are obviously on track to make the playoffs, and we're right in the thick of things for home ice. But somewhere along the line, we've got to start stringing some victories together.
Bulldogs will try to do that this weekend. You travel to Marquette to take on the Northern Michigan Wildcats. What do you expect out of this weekend series?
Wow, you know, geez, Northern Michigan's got one of the top goaltending units, tandems in the country going right now. They've got some pretty good offensive production, some really scary forwards up front. One of the big differences, too, is they play on an Olympic sheet of ice where we play on an NHL-size arena. So the dimensions usually confound us a little bit, at least in the Friday night game.
Well, Coach, best of luck to the Bulldogs this weekend as you travel to Marquette. Final series here of the 2015 calendar year.
Well, thank you very much, Rob.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.